Welcome back to episode 9 of Stationeers on Titan. It's 22 days since we crashed here, and we have the beginnings of some life support. I say crashed, of course it was a controlled landing. And it's time to continue with upgrading our base. So one thing I'm going to do is put a light in it, because I'm kind of getting sick of having to use my suit light to see what's going on. Last time we did upgrade the power system, which was very helpful, and we have a bit of a clunky manual way of capturing some CO2 out of the furnace. So we're going to try now to start upgrading the production. I don't know whether I've got enough materials. I suspect I haven't, but I want to see whether I can build another deep miner, which probably requires upgrading the electronics printer. I'm already convincing myself this is not going to happen. And ideally some more centrifuges, because I want to really start getting some better, faster ore yields. So what's the state of things here? Okay. I'm going to put some automation on these as well. We'll try and see if we can do that this episode. Now I know that last time we worked out we needed more electrum. So we can do something with that. Loving the ethane swimming pool in here. It's lovely. Right, however, that looks like probably it's now usable. It's not great because this has got a very, very large amount of... in fact, actually, it's just turning into pure nitrogen, isn't it? Looking at that. Yeah, I might depressurise this room a bit actually by opening that. That will cause some of this to boil off, I hope. Or maybe not. It's actually higher pressure outside. Maybe not. Might have to actively pump it out. I was hoping I didn't have to. It's minus 139 in there. It's minus 138 out here. Wow, it's much warmer. Maybe that's why. Let's see what happens. Right, so we've only got 10 nitrice left. We'll need to go gather some more of that. I might do that whilst it's reasonably light. I've got sort of an okay-ish supply of everything. I'm not going to go too far. I can see some over here, so let's just go get that. No point in mining right next to the base, but I don't want to go further than I have to. Ooh. That could have been bad. Oh, is that all there was? It's very shallow. Oh no, there was a bit more there. Still feels like it was a rather shallow vein though. Ah, it's gone that way, that's why. At some point I'll actually isolate the nitrous from the nitrice. That's not high priority right now. Okay, that's looking okay. I've got a reasonable amount there. I'll grab, just try and make this up to a 50. And we'll come out of this hole, assuming I can. Oh, that's quite a deep hole. I didn't realise I dug so deep. I'm not even going to try and jetpack out while that air's rushing inwards. That'd be nuts. Right, there we go. Okay, right, that should be enough for some smelting. We're obviously still waiting for some gold to make electrum anyway. Don't believe there's any in there. But we'll have a little look, just in case. Yeah, we'll get rid of this as well. There's not really much use for pollutant on the Titan. Oh, we have some gold. Okay, 18. Right, that'll work. So let's grab that. Let's I feel like probably I'm going to regret using all of my gold. But there we go. That's how it is. Take that with me. Go away! Sit, fly off into the yellow sky, and then you're going to come back again, aren't you? Yes, it is. Look at that. I know, off you go. Go on, go around the back of the base. Don't want to see you again. Right. Okay, so what's going on in here then? Let's see. Yeah, that's ended up basically, I've managed to produce pure nitrogen, very close to 99.3%. That's not really ideal, I'll be honest. That's kind of annoying. I feel like if I added enough to get that lit while that's still there, I'm just going to turn the entirety of this room into one giant furnace. So I think what we'll do is remove that for now. Don't think that pipe's actually blown anywhere. Oops, that was probably the wrong one to do. Well, it was definitely the wrong one to do, there's no probably about it. Okay. On the other hand, at least now I can see what's going on behind here. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, right. Let's stack that there. I think I might make a recycler soon. That'd be quite useful. Okay, oh, there's only 3 volatiles. I thought we had stacks of the stuff. Right, okay, that was a bit of an error, wasn't it? I'll go get some more, I suppose. Again, I know there's some over here. In fact, there's some right here. Don't need lots. I'm going to have to reintroduce volatiles into the furnace. Probably need to do a better job of this, but it's adequate for a temporary fix. Right. Let's put that in there and crush it. Pressure's already falling because it's freezing. And, whoops, no, not that one. Don't want half of that. I want half of that. And then I want half again, and that'll give me 13. That'll be enough to get going. Should make it pretty hot. We don't actually need very much pressure for electrum. That's going to be my next problem, is I don't really have a means for reducing the pressure in there. Oh, look, that's boiled off. That's quite nice. Let it out, I suppose. Right. Well, let's light it and see where we end up. Already got a fair amount of CO2 building up. Okay, that's going to burn off. Pressure's too high to make electrum, but with a bit of clunky manual work, at some point I'm going to put the furnace inside, but for now. Right. Now that pressure is falling. Question is it going to fall fast enough? Actually might be. I was going to vacuum it out, or at least vent it. I'm looking at this and thinking that actually... No, it's never going to stay hot enough for long enough. No, I'm going to have to vent it. Okay, here we go. I mean, I could. I think this is going to be stupid, but we'll try it and see what happens. Okay, it's not as dumb as I thought it was. Pressure's dropping pretty quickly. Temperature's staying good. We might actually get an electrum smelt out of this. Pressure in here is building up rather rapidly though. So I'm going to have to let some of that out or the whole building's going to explode. There we go, there we go, come on! Yes! Look at that. Beautiful. Right. Now I'll shut that. Let's get away with a bit more pressure differential than that. This room is... yeah, okay. I was going to say I think we lost all our CO2, but we actually captured some as well. Double win. Right, there we go. Okay. Well, I guess we'll let that do its thing. Shut that door because it's actually blowing me around. No, that'll be alright. Okay, good. Well, we've got some electrum. Did not expect that to be quite as straightforward. Expect by the time I come back that building will have exploded, but it's alright. We can build another one. Right. Okay. So, I was going to automate... Right, I've definitely got enough now to automate the... there we go, the centrifuges that we do have, which will be good because then that'll just dump it out here as it's ready. I mean, I'm going to have to do some stacking and stuff as we can see here, but that will still make it a little bit easier if we know every time they get a bit full it just empties them. And it will stop me going, oh, I'll just wait a bit longer, I'll just wait a bit longer, when actually what I need to do is just get the stuff out and get going. Right, good. Let's get rid of that because I don't want to accidentally take that into the hab. How's this looking? I'm going to stand to one side before I do this. It's still blowing me quite aggressively. Right. Okay. So I need a bit more gold. There's nearly six in there, and nearly 6 in there. Okay, so I'm going to let these run another cycle till we're over 6. Then I'm going to eject them. And then hopefully, right, so actually we'll let them do another one again, because 6.0 I think is going to end up with actually only ejecting 5, just because that's how it seems to be. Nearly there, come on. That's it, nice. And you can open there, and you can open there. You can hear them spinning down. That flip-flop I should have made as an overflow. I think it's getting jammed up. I think I'm going to turn that off for a minute. One's only got one left in it, so once it's done its thing I'll shut it and we'll let it run till it's empty, and I'll remove that and switch it to an overflow, because I think flip-flop is trying to do one that way, one that way, one that way, but this is jammed so nothing will go anywhere. It's going to become more important. There we go. It's going to become more important if I'm going to add additional centrifuges, which I definitely want to do. I'm going to add a second deck. Spinning back up. So we'll go back in here. Smelt a bit of gold. Look at that. It's a mountain of ore. I mean, a lot of it's quite low sizes, but go in there, and I'll grab those two, and they go in there. Clearly got very, very long arms. Come on, that's it. There's another one behind there. That's it. You roll down there. Nice. Go, and one of them. And where's the other one? Must be one. There it is. Go in there. Right, there's another 6 gold left there. And there's some copper there. Alright, let's see if we can make a recycler, because actually we've got a few bits of rubbish starting to build up now. 10 copper. Okay, I think we probably could. Is that enough to make an IC? No, not electronic parts. IC. Oh, no, 0.5. How irritating. Right, okay. Well, let's... great. Need to actually let it do at least one unit. Come on, before I run out of battery and die. It goes back in there. Get in there. Print that. Okay, we're going to need some more copper, I think, than we've got in there, but first we're going to need not to die. There we go, it was a little tight, but we did it. Right, okay. Do like how this glows with the light mod. Looks very cool. We've actually got 51 silicon. I suspect most of these iron stacks are not. Actually, I was going to say are not 50s, but then a whole load of them are 50s. Actually. Not bad, actually. Not bad at all. Right, we don't want to make more than one of those. Okay, I'm going to put that in there and I'm going to make a recycler. Probably able to make a tool printer as well, nearly. No, that needs 20. So I'm not quite going to have enough. Right, that's that. Which cable I've got? 5. That's probably not enough. The hab is still currently on the same circuit as the outside though, so obviously as we expand we will need to fix that, but that saves me a job. Oh, and I've already pre-wired this, didn't I? Right, great. Okay, so we're going to put that in there, and we're going to put that in there. I don't think I brought a labeler. Okay, I need to do that, because now I'm starting to get to having multiples. Right, the nitrice is going in here before I have a terrible accident. Same goes with the volatiles. See how this is looking in here, whether we manage to capture any more CO2. I don't expect so, but it might have got lucky. No, okay. No matter. How's the contents of the furnace looking? It's freezing out. We might get a bit more. I don't think we will. No, it's too cold now, isn't it? It's frozen into ice. I need to warm it back up again in order to get it out now. Okay, alright. Well, we'll come back and do some of that in a minute. Next thing we're going to do some programming. Actually, we're going to go and load a script from memory because I've already written the script to do this. So I've got a script in my library which will connect a chip to well, any number of centrifuges, and will just automatically eject them once they get to a certain amount of contents. That's quite useful because what that means is we can just set it up, connect it up to the centrifuges we've got running there, set it to eject at say 100 or 150, whatever number we want, and we can just have it. Yeah, that's picked it up. We can just have it automatically eject. So that's one thing I then don't need to think about. because I know I have a bad habit of putting off. So it loads. Centrifuge. I wish there was a better sort on this soft program library. Centrifuge ejector. They're just in the order that they were last saved, which is not always great. There we go. Right. So this is set to eject at 100. I may as well leave it like that. Obviously, they can take up to 400, but obviously if they're at 400, you've got to wait a really long time, and then you get an absolute ton of ore in one go. I think I'd rather have a bit of a drip feed of it. And there's one other thing I want to do, which is I need to change that to close when it gets to less than 1. I don't want to leave any in there. That's just a typo really on my part when I first wrote it. Right, this code is on the workshop, and I don't believe it needs any other changes other than that. I guess we'll find out. But basically what this is going to do is it's going to use indirect addressing. It does it this way because it was, well, one, because you can't do it in batch actually anyway, but two, because it was written before you could do a lot of the batch stuff. But indirect addressing, so R0 is going to say which of the pins we're going to be pointing at. So we look at whatever values in R0, so initially 0, we're going to look at D0 and D0, and then once R0 increments to 1, it'll be D1. And it's just going to see what's in it and whether or not it's open or closed. And it's really simple logic that just basically says if it's closed, then basically if it's got above the threshold, you're going to open it, and otherwise it's going to just keep going, and once it's emptied, once it's is open, it will wait until it's empty, and then it will just close it, and that'll allow it to restart. And it's really that simple, and you'll see it just increments the R0 by 1 each time. Once it gets to greater than 5, because the pins obviously run 0 to 5, then it goes to down here and jumps back round and resets it to 0. So that's basically what we're doing here. So let's and it's there we go. Do that. Let's make sure we're sending it to the right place. Export that. Job's a good one, I hope. Right, I also want to release some CO2 for the plants. Oh, must have let some hydrogen in, or volatiles in when I came in. Never mind. Let's let that evaporate. I expect that means there's some pollutants in here now. Yes, there are. Okay, well, we'll open this so that it can do its thing. Oh, there's more than I realised. Okay, well, never mind. That's what this is for. Again, we'll put that on a non-portable, so I don't have to keep doing this at some point, but, you know, for now it's good enough. While I'm in here, I might as well eat the last of that. Drink some of that, see if I can do that without passing out. Actually, it's not as bad as he's making a sound, despite his dramatic breathing. Right, and I want that, which has no battery in, but at least I know I've got it. So that's good, that can go in there. And actually, I'm going to bring some of this rubbish out, which we can get rid of. Because I'm going to get a recycler up and running. And we're going to feed... yeah, let's get rid of these iron walls. Feel like they're the sort of thing that as soon as I get rid of, I'm going to go, oh, I needed them. But for now, that will do. I don't think there's anything really in here. Arguably that CO2 bottle, but what the hell will we... Oh no, it's only going to give us iron. We don't need iron that much. Right, okay, before we go, right, wheat seeds. Lovely, look at this. Now we're really starting to get a farm going, and the nice thing with wheat is when it does crop, you get 5 out of it. I'm actually probably going to run out of space now. And we've got a potato. Do you know what? I'm going to take that soybean seed and replant it. These potato seeds I'm actually just going to pull out. Now I'm starting to get more seed stock than I started with. So at least I'm now back to the 3 I started with. Still one short on those, but that's fine. That is now fully planted, so I need to make some more of these trays before I do much else. I just want to see that pollutant. It's getting quite low, but I'd really like that down to 0 and shut this door before I go outside. I think we're actually going to run into a problem where the CO2 production is going to start to be insufficient quite quickly, but for now I've got quite a bit in there, so let's dump that. 23%, that'd be alright. Well, mind you, by the time it's dispersed across both halves of the room, not so much, but 0.03, come on. Just want it right down because it's not good for plant growth. I mean, they're all still thriving, but I don't want to leave a bit in here, clear the other room, and then each time, there we go, each time I add to the problem. Seal that. That's all good. Actually, I might as well leave that running. I know it's not doing anything. It's not really using a lot of power. We have a bit more sustainable power now. It just means that when I come into the room, if I do accidentally let some in, it's not the end of the world. Right. Let's go. Carrying on at this rate, I will actually need some proper gas processing at some point soon. It's nice not to be constantly running out of power as well. Right, how much? There's none in there. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to put that in there. We will set up some logic on there at some point, but I just want to, in the meantime, just get this running. So I'm going to set... Right, actually, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label this. I'm going to change that to say IC centrifuge, and I'm going to call that one centrifuge 1. It's a bit arbitrary, I'll probably be in the wrong order on the list, but nonetheless, and 2, just so I don't set them both to the same. And then we'll set the screws, and actually I can set any screws, but I'm going to set the first 2 because I want some more. Right, that's now running, no errors, and hopefully what should happen is once we get to 100 in either of them, it should spit it out. And in the meantime, I'm hoping is that when I open this, it doesn't spew stuff everywhere. No, it doesn't. Nice. Okay, so we're now going to replace this with an overflow. Sort of a flip-flop. I'm going to put that back in there, and I'm going to turn that back on, which I'm hoping will fill up reasonably quickly, although of course not very, because basically the miner's just been doing nothing for a while. Let's flick that. Right, so that's just pushed one through there that is now either sitting in the input to that or in here. Okay, and then we'll go back up here, get rid of you. No, come on, pick up. Really need to find something useful to do with that pollutant, but I can't really think of anything. Alright, and I'm going to put a recycler, I'm just going to put it in the corner over here. It's quite little. No, that's wrong. Recycler's a bit of an oddity compared to the other machines because it doesn't have any build states. Guessing they'll fix that at some point. But that's how they all used to be back in the early days. Right, we don't need logic on that. Let's turn that on. Let's lob that in there. That in there. Just going to turn it off so it doesn't spit out yet because I can't actually see what's going on. Clear the air a bit. Right, now what I can do is to seriously think about what I've got that I don't need. And all these iron walls feel like an example of that. so I'm going to shred them. I'll keep those steel frames, they're useful. Right, what have we got in there? Okay, a few bits of useful stuff already. Turn that off because I'm not using it. Actually, I wonder if I've got enough to make some more stackers yet. Yes, I have. I could put a stacker on. Once I've done this, I can put a stacker on each. I have got those filters that I don't need. I knew there was something else. Just couldn't remember what. I have actually got a mod installed that's from the Tier 2 the Tier 2 pipe bender. I can make electronics printer. I think actually I can make a filter cleaner, which I quite like, just because once you get further into the game, constantly shredding and remaking filters becomes tedious, and I quite like that mod because it's actually quite nicely balanced. By the time you can get it, you've got past the point where it's anything other than busy work. In theory, it's also connectable to a Larry, but I've never tried that. Go, we'll make another stacker there. Go, right. Part of the reason for doing this is we are going to automate these printers soon as well. But that's reliant on being able to build a few more IC chips. But they need a stacker, because the way that I do it, I have a script that I've used before. I will just add a button and a chip, and the chip will say what recipe is selected on here, what's the setting on the stacker, and when you press the button it will print that number of that item, vice versa for the others. So right, good. Okay, now can we make this tool manufacturer? Yes, we can. That is good. And we're going to want 2 iron sheets. And this is why we made some extra length in this when we constructed it, rather than I could obviously have fitted just those machines in to a 2-frame long construction, and then between this in this corner and space for another printer in here. Obviously, once we get to the stage of needing to build rocket parts, we'll need more space, but I figure that's definitely tomorrow's problem. Well, now we've got 50 of coal in there. That's worth remembering if the power does get short. Right, put that back in there. At some point I might put some sorting and stacking in there to deal with the different ores, but it's just used up so much space. You've basically got to put a sorter for every single ore type. Right, so slowly, but it's going. I'll leave the stackers running, they don't use much power. At least I assume they don't use much power, I've never actually looked. 50 watts, adds up, doesn't it? 150 watts of just constant power drain, but there we go. Where did the gold go? There it is. I don't know where I'm going to need that next, so for now I'm going to pop that in there. I'm going to get a locker set up in here as well, probably where that is. At which point I'll probably get rid of the crate. No, it's still going. Right, what do I need to make a mod? This printer. More steel, I need constant tan, and I'll need more solder. Okay. Solder feels like it shouldn't be too difficult with the amount of other stuff I've got, but this is going to be a problem, isn't it? It's going to go out of here and straight into the recycler. Going to have to come up with a plan there. Maybe I should have kept back one of those walls after all. I mean, that's actually literally probably the best solution. Probably move that one small grid that way and put a wall in there just to stop flying out of here and straight into that input port, which will be really, I mean, I suppose that's turned off at the time, but it's still annoying. Right, to these. Oh, I was too fast then. Or did I run out of iron? Oh, I think I was just too fast. Yes, I was. What's those? Oh no, that's gone in there. That's actually even more. Whoops, wrong tool. It's gone into the input port of something that's not yet built. Right, okay, we're going to need some plastic sheets. I think I'll just print everything I'm going to need for this first. That needs silicone, okay, well we've got plenty of it. Just need to, might as well take that small, oh, it's only one, oh, that'll probably be enough, I only need it. Yeah, that'll do the job. I'm going to need some cable. Why have I got this set to 1? That's quite plenty, thank you. That can come out of there and be picked up there. Right, okay, we'll try that one again. I can't remember where I was going to put it there, I think. I mean, that's also mildly irritating that that stacker fires it into there, but I can probably fix that with a piece of curved chute to fire it out forwards or something. Which I suppose is also a solution on there. Anyway, right. Might as well stack all that together. There's my welder. Where's the screwdriver? There it is. Go there. That can come across there. That goes in there. There we are. Brilliant. Right, now I can actually make spray paint and colour things, which will save no end of accidents, I would have thought. Right, so the first thing we want to do is we want some white paint for the oxygen system inside. And I'm also going to colour code, I'm going to use green for this because it's nice and clearly different from red, the input and output power. That'll do for now. It's thrown out a bit of pollutant, isn't it? There we go. Close that. You go away over there. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint that bit there, this side, so this is the output from the battery. How are these going? Okay, that's got nothing in it. But I suspect if I eject that now, the next one that comes through will probably get us what we need. It'll probably go off that way. Just needs a bit of time for these to rebalance, but an overflow is definitely a better strategy. Come on, give me some more. Okay. There we go. Right, and so now they'll go off that way. Hopefully, that's gone in there, yes. Okay. So I'm going to temporarily just drop it. Actually, I'll leave it at 50. I'll just throw a few in there just so it gets going. Right, any more CO2 for me before I go inside? Doesn't look like it. Nope. Okay, alright, well it was worth a look. I'll leave that to equalise for a bit. Oh, battery's dead. It's not charging. Oh, I guess the generators on the roof are not going very fast. Right, so there we go. So we can see the end of the green there. and then we're going to go through this way. Right, there we go. Now we're very clear that the high voltage power lines are segregated into before battery and after battery, which is what I wanted, and we may as well spray this up in white. This is probably a bit more of an optional extra, but I think we're now at the point where it's just worth starting to keep some things coded up. Right, any other garbage in here? I probably don't need the flare pistol. It was fun while it lasted, but I don't think we need it, and we don't want that airlock circuit board. That's a danger to use in this atmosphere. Okay, that's reasonable. There's probably some stuff in here we don't need, to be honest, as well, but I'll worry about that in a bit. That insulated canister package has probably got fuel, so that's useful as a backup. We'll keep it in there. I haven't had fun with mining charges yet. I mean, that would have been a really quick way to warm the hab, and I will want to set that up. That reminds me, I need a fridge. That needs to be a fairly high priority. I want to get those eggs in the fridge or the freezer or whatever the hell it is before they spoil, if I can. It may already be too late. Where are we? Day 24. I might get away with it. Right, come on. Pressure, pressure. Okay. Oops. Change the suit battery. Right. How's that? That's equalised. Okay, good. Right. Can I make... I'm sure I can make a fridge without... fridge large. And I can. Right, okay. So I need gold, copper and steel. I reckon we can do that. So there's some gold here. And there's some steel here. And then we just need to wait for some copper to come through. Unless I eject it from one of these, if I have any, which I don't. Okay, so I have 0 copper. Good to know. Right, on the other hand, I might be able to get some copper. This will still have to be processed anyway though, so it doesn't really help. And let's just chew that up. And we might as well let that just chuck that out of there. Go, turn that off. 35 reagent, we'll throw that back through. This is where it's useful to have an inlet port, because that will go in there. It goes. So that's now getting quite close to its 100, I suspect. It's probably one of these will have enough copper. Yeah, this one's definitely got much less in it. Thing is, if I try and open it now, will it? We'll do it. Okay, I thought the chip would interfere and say, no, you need to... What we should be able to see, though, is it should empty the centrifuge completely, and then it should automatically shut and continue with what it was doing. Done that a bit soon, because I just was almost at a unit of cobalt, but it's a good test. I'm here, it's here. Let's see what happens. There we go. That chip is using the stack to monitor the total amount of ore in each centrifuge. So that's why it pushes 6 on at the start of the code. There we go, it was less than 1, in fact, is the instruction. So it was 0.9, which is less than 1. So it did its job beautifully. So that's essentially automated that task. Let's see if I can make a locker as well. I should be able to make a locker. Be useful if I could. Yeah, it's just iron. In fact, really, I want... yeah, let's make two for now, but I probably really wanted 4. bit loath to store the gases in the ices in the furnace room because I suspect it will overheat and melt some of them. Which could have interesting consequences. Right, good. So now we can replace this with a locker, which will be a lot easier to access. And in fact, I'm going to shred the... they're not worth much, but it's still worth it. There we go. Some iron. Right, well, that's done. Let's disconnect it. Actually, I'm going to try an experiment. I don't know whether I can dismantle it while it's... Yes, I can. Did not know I could do that. That's useful. Thought you had to disconnect them before you could dismantle. Learn a new thing every day. Right. Okay, that's good. There we are. We're up to 30 in there. That was well worth spending. Which way round is that? That's the wrong way. Okay, that was well worth spending 10 iron for, because now I've got something which is bigger and more convenient and clips annoyingly through the wall in the place I was going to put it. Stick it there, I guess. There we go. Nice. Right, okay. Can I make that fridge now? Beautiful. There we go. Right, it's coming together. This is all about storage, clearly. I don't know why I just picked up 2 of those. I wanted 1. Right, what I do want is to put these in here. And I want the silver. There we go, we'll get those out of the way. Right, so what I'm thinking I will do is maybe make another batch of steel, because we're starting to get a bit short. Make a nice big batch. There we go. Got a fridge. I got a fridge. Amazing. Get a working kitchen in a minute. That will be lovely. Right. Which order to do this? Let's install the fridge first, because I'm going to need to drink and eat fairly shortly. Come on. That's what we want. Nice and empty. I knew that was out of battery because I saw some pollutants sneak in as I was coming through the door there. Right, okay, so you come out of there. And the reason I did this the way I did was, what I want to do is to put the fridge, get it the right way round, in there. See, look how neat that is. Look at that, that looks nice. I just need to connect it up. Get that in there. And there. No, we may as well connect the data. I've got the cable for it, and I'm here. There we are. Turn it on. And I'm going to spray it white, because who has an orange fridge, really? There we go, that looks much better. I realise it now looks not unlike the locker, but it's kind of smart, right? Okay, so now what we can do is we'll get the kit tables out, we'll get the microwave out, we'll get the eggs out. And what's the state of the eggs? Look, they are 35% damaged, but that's not terrible. They can go in there. That can be closed. And they should survive. Now, what I didn't really do was leave myself enough space for nice cooking in here, so perhaps I'll have to put the cooking facilities in the greenhouse for now. Yeah. It's a bit cramped. I mean, I probably could reconfigure that side a bit and put it over there. It's not nice though, is it? I mean, I could do something like that. Then it's just right in the middle of the room and it's just kind of awkward. I think we'll do it in here. Okay, it's not great because we're around that water pipe. Didn't quite plan this as well as I'd hoped. Well, this is easy to move later, right? So let's grab that on there and just throw that on there. Spanner. There we go. Nice. Only got 3 cables, so I'm not going to connect it, but I can get it pretty close. Oh, do you know what? If I hadn't connected the data port of that bridge, which I don't even need, I could have done that, so I'm going to... There we go. All my hand clipping through the wall. Look at that, we have a kitchen. And it's nicely colour matching. Yeah, I like that. That looks kind of tidy. It's just a shame that I haven't got space for this there, but that's alright. Does the job. Right, look at that. That's looking good now. Alright, don't need the labeler, so let's pop that in there. And guess we'll go make some steel. And I probably ought to get some more of these trays making, because more potato seeds, good. More seeds. Yeah, if I make some more trays, I can do some more planting. We've now got a lot more seeds than we started with, in terms of potatoes at least. Right. That's going to get in the way there, isn't it? I need some better place to keep these tanks. Well, actually, what I just need to do is empty one of them. Thinking about it. So why don't I just use that to top up my oxygen? Where's the thinger? Seriously, thinger, where are you? It's that stupid thing it does where it puts it down the wrong way around. There we go. Get in there. Yeah, I know. Oh, actually that was lower pressure than what I had. That was ridiculous. Right, well at that point it's of minimal use to me, so I may as well empty it. Just being careful that I don't totally overpressurize the hab, but if I need oxygen, I guess it comes from there now. That's working quite nicely though. Yeah, it's fine. Chill. Dump that as well. Best let some stuff in there, hadn't I? Let's just let this just empty out completely. You can dismantle them when they've still got gas in. I don't recommend it. Right now it's basically at the same as the... Right, now that's a Mark II tank, so I'm actually going to hang on to that because we can't make them yet. Probably we don't need it. Definitely we don't need those. So they're getting recycled next. Yeah, alright, well we're getting there. Let's grab the last one of those bars and have a little snack. I'm surprised the oxygen in here is critical after 1% after dumping that whole tank into the air, but there we go. Oh, not even 1% now. Right. What's the gas mix looking like in here? 13.5%. Okay, we'll be alright. I just need to avoid massively overdoing it with the plants, or I'll actually not be able to keep up on the CO2 production. Oh, come on, just eat the stupid bar. Seriously, come on. Thank you. Right, let's go. Right, I'm not going to do too much more. How are we looking in there? What I'd like to do is try to make a batch of steel. There's not much volatile in there, is there? That's annoying. Could do with that not having condensed, but there we go. It has. Put 12 of them in. Just light that off. Okay, that should be enough to at least melt that. Oops, there goes various gases. Let's shut the door because that was the whole point of this room. That is falling fast. Where did that go, the one that blew out here? I saw it on top of there a second ago. It's over here. It's pollutant. I don't really care about pollutant. I was hoping it was CO2. Right. That's CO2 though. Whoa! Where'd it go? Where did it go? Oh no. Alright, well I'll hopefully be able to find it in a bit. At least I know it's not going to melt. That's already down to minus 65, so that's not going to melt anything else, is it? What if we run out of volatiles? I thought that would probably be the case. That's it. There we go. Stay hot enough to melt it, please. Thank you. Go. Is it going to hit 1,000 or 900 rather? Yes, it is. Lovely. There we go. That's what I needed. That was very easy actually in the end. And there's some CO2. That's all of it. Okay, nice. Oof. Got sucked out then. Oh, can't shut, you stupid thing. Right. Don't know where the other CO2 ice went. I can't see it. Guessing it blew away completely. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. Never mind, I got some. Maybe it will show up when it's lighter outside. Right, good. In the meantime, I've got plenty of steel ready for the next session. So that's good. See what's going on in here at all. I'm going to do that. Oh, that was a 50. I thought there was one. Right. Turn that off. Okay. Yeah, this is not in a bad state. Quite a lot. I could probably make another batch, honestly. But that'll do for now. That'll be fine. We'll just leave that be. Okay. Turn you off. Right, it's a bit lighter out here. I might just be able to see that CO2 now. Let's get rid of that because that's definitely not what I need. There's going to be a crater somewhere completely full of pollutant. Then suddenly I'm going to have a genius idea for what to do with it. Find it. That one's emptying itself. I actually wonder whether it may have got sucked into that inlet, in which case it's going to go through the centrifuge, and I have no idea what will happen, honestly. I'm kind of expecting it will get deleted, but I've never tried it. Not sure I want to find out, honestly. Right. No. Oh well, it's gone, hasn't it? I got some. Right, that seems like a great place to wind up this episode. I never recycled those crate kits, but other than that, let's get inside. So, drop that, let that vaporize, there we go. Good. That's now idle because that is now at 25 MPa, so that's good. Perfect. Okay, well, that's a good place to finish this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. It's been kind of all about the logistics. Didn't manage to increase the production capacity, but we have automated the emptying of the centrifuges, and we have got more storage in place. The first really solid crop from the greenhouse, and added stackers and additional printers in the workshop. So lots of bits of largely logistics, but all things that are making it slightly easier to survive here and somewhat faster to get things done. So hopefully we'll start to see a bit faster progress from here. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you have, then it'd be great if you could like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.